You're listening to Rail Technology Magazine's Track Talk podcast to guide you through the news, views and inside stories from across the rail industry. Welcome to this episode of Rail Technology Magazine's Track Talk podcast, where today we'll be discussing all things supply chain and the importance of collaboration within the rail industry. And we'll be joined by Monica Barbosa, Head of Account Development of RSS Infrastructure. Could you talk us through your role with RSS and how important is the work of RSS in delivering the big projects in rail at the minute?
I think RSS has a significant role to play in delivering the big projects in rail due to, the variety that we have of services that we can provide for clients. So we have a wide range of integrated infrastructure solutions, whether it's construction civils, magnetic track safety solutions, overhead line electrification, safety critical resource and recruitment, signalling, the track warning systems we do, the vegetation management, or even our welding services. So we have the whole package here that we're able to deliver for our customers and our clients across the country as well.
And what projects are in the pipeline for RSS at the minute, and what will your role be in them?
Yeah, at the moment, we're really proud actually to be on a number of frameworks for Network Rail as well as Transport for Wales, and we're supporting them in all aspects of our services that we have. So we're very proud to be doing that across the board and across the United Kingdom.
In terms of rail safety, what do you think we need to pay attention to in the industry at the minute? And what technological advancements in safety are you excited about?
So, as you know, and as everyone know, in our industry, safety is imperative. It's the top thing and it's the top concern that we have. We all want to get everybody home safe every day. It's the key message we give to all of our staff and all of our suppliers. Here at RSS, we're actually leading the way in supporting the work of the Safety Task Force Group for Network Rail in transitioning from unassisted lookouts to technological-based warning systems. So there are several advantages of using the track warning system instead of, the traditional methods, which, Nick Millington's heading it up as he's the safety director for the Network Rail Safety Task Force Group. We're looking at reducing and ultimately phasing it out. So some of the advantages you have with having a track warning system is that it reduces fatalities and injuries by automatically alerting the workers to trains approaching the work site. It also, one thing that's really key, it actually allows work and critical maintenance to be carried out during daylight hours, which is statistically proven to be more efficient, and it actually reduces fatigue concerns from night working. Especially as 003, the fatigue risk management standard for Network Rail is coming out, and it's, the track warning system is able to support the reduction. We all know it's just unsustainable for us to just work weekends or just work nights, not just in regards, around fatigue, but also for people and for them to have a work-life balance. So by giving them the opportunity to do critical maintenance and works during daylight hours, it gives them more of a work-life balance, which is really key as well, and keeping them safe, which is imperative for us.
And how will this work at RSS benefit passengers and ultimately upgrade the passenger experience across the network?
Yes, it does help passengers. So everybody wins in that sense by using that. We also we've got a magnetic fencing solution. So we were the first company to actually introduce magnetic fencing barriers to the UK market. You can actually put 100 meters up in and install it in under 10 minutes. So it saves you time as well, because you want people to be efficient. You want us to just get the work done and obviously keep everyone safe, minimal disruption to all of the passengers and the infrastructure in general, as well as, keeping our infrastructure up to date and not waiting until last minute when something actually big goes wrong and we have to put possession in, cancel trains, and obviously annoy a lot of the passengers who are at the end of the day the taxpayers and the ultimate user.
And do you find that the wider rail industry is supportive of SMEs like yourselves at RSS and the supply chain as a whole?
Yeah, I think they are, and we've got a lot of support, obviously, from Nick Millington and his team. They are really supporting us, and they want to move forward with obviously the track warning systems, and we all want to get rid of unassisted lookouts because there is that concern there, and it is the ultimately they want to phase it out, and we're all happy to support them, especially here at RSS. We're an SME company. We have so many different services, but the track warning system is just our added benefit because we do believe we know how important safety is here, and our head of HSQE, Dave White, has drilled that into us, and all of the teams here, whether you work in the office or whether you're out on track, we all believe in that as well. We're a rail industry family, and that's something that's key for us.
And something you touched on earlier was workforce safety, but in that regard, what things are the rail industry doing to help support the mental health of its workforce?
Yeah, we have a lot of mental health days over here. We know it's, everybody knows it's a very important topic. For, the health and well-being of your staff is key. Putting your staff out there, they're the ones delivering the work for you. They're client facing as well. They're the ones who are your best key to winning more work as well. So we try and look after our staff as much as we physically can, and we give back as well. So we raise money for places like the Railway Children as well. We all work together. We do a lot of charitable work ourselves and try and volunteer. We work with Free at Last. It's a community centre down the road from us in Aston, and we try and support them as much as possible, and our teams go out there as well. We're not only doing it, it does actually feel good to help other people and actually support other people and support our community. That's really key for us here. We do believe in supporting our community here in Birmingham.
And how important is collaboration, would you say, within the supply chain?
As an industry, you probably know as well, we've all shown, fantastic capability to deliver major rail projects over the years. And it's predominantly because of our supply chain and the way we all collaborate together, whether you're Network Rail or whether you're an SME like RSS. Here at RSS, we don't only collaborate with our client, but we also collaborate with our supply chain. SMEs, we all know, are able to provide local knowledge, local labour as well. And they also have the ability and willingness to innovate, which is really, really key. There is a lot of different, as SMEs, we're always looking at cost. So there are a lot of free resources out there, which I just wanted to talk about to SMEs, which they can use. Like there's the Supply Chain School, which is absolutely brilliant. It's a free resource available to everybody. And we're actually currently at the silver level, and we're planning to work our way up to gold. But it is really, really useful. I would advise anybody to go out there and get it. Also, we work alongside the Armed Forces Covenant. We're a gold member of the Armed Forces Covenant. It helps military personnel to transition from obviously being part of the military into civilian life, and all of their skills are really transferable to our industry. So I would advise a lot of SMEs to go and support that. We're happy to support. As a gold member, we can support people to get into the Armed Forces Covenant as well. I really do think that it is all about, we haven't got all the ideas in the world in one company. It's about us collaborating together, working with a supply chain, whether it's fellow SMEs or tier 1 clients or tier 2 clients. We work with so in particular, we actually work with our customers and our supply chain to introduce innovative technology to actually support the government and Network Rail's decarbonisation policy. So we have electric powered plant. Most of our vehicles are electric vehicles. We have solar panels in all of our properties that we have. So we're in Doncaster, Birmingham, and we're also in Cwmran in Wales. We have zero to landfill as well, because obviously there's always stuff left over. So we try and keep up to date with that. And we work with our customers and our supply chain to ensure that we're adhering to all of that and making, all of this innovative technology work for us. What people fail to understand is sometimes people are constantly in competition with each other. And I really don't agree with that. We're a railway family in my mind. We should all be working together. We should be working collaboratively to win work and, to give the best that we can to not only Network Rail, but also the end users, which are the passengers, because they are the taxpayers. They're the people paying for this. We want them to have the best experience they can. We don't want the negative headlines about a train's late again, it's all due to, an infrastructure failing or whatever they choose to say. We want to be able to have good news stories about our industry. We should be more concerned about industries such as aviation and aerospace. We have a really good relationship with the government, and we're doing a great job to get the amount of funding that we do, and we have to keep going forth with that and working collaboratively and delivering for the end customer and the taxpayers is what's the most important, I think. And it shows that we are functioning as a team, and that's what we are. We are this big team working together.
How important do you think it is that the industry is also mindful of the communities with which it works? Like, you mentioned the importance of having local knowledge earlier, and how essential do you think that is?
Yeah, I think it's so essential, and you see it with all the HS2 contracts that are coming out and Network Rail as well, and they're trying to push that subject. We've always done it here. So our CEO Richard Toy and our MD Sean Harrison, it's been one of their driving forces to actually improve the community here, as well as obviously apprentices as well. So apprentices are the key to the future. Let's just be honest, and the future workforce will surround them, as unfortunately we do have an aging workforce in the railway industry. So we've actually been running apprenticeships for around 5 years now. We have over 20 apprentices in all of our different disciplines, whether it's welding or OLE or signalling or track warning, civils and construction elements, possession management. We have it in all of the different labour resourcing as well. We have different skills that we're trying to bring in and allowing these young people to take advantage of it as well. So we try and support them very heavily. We actually have our own training school here called InfraSkills. So we support not only ourselves and ensure that everybody's competent and we're bringing more young people in, but we also support the industry in general. I think since we've started InfraSkills, we've had over 1,000 rail recruits into rail. So I like to call them green. So, okay, new people who have never known the rail industry or the railway family, and we brought them in. So we've just they've invested an incredible amount of money to make this beautiful facility here with about 5-6 classrooms. It was actually opened by the HS2 Minister Andrew Stevenson last year, and he found it so impressive. We have our own little track down there as well, so they get a feel for the railway environment without being in it.
And how successful have you found these apprenticeship schemes to be?
Brilliant. Like, they're so eager to learn as well, and that's so key for us. And we bring them up, we give them our values as well, because we believe in safety, giving back to community, giving to the client, and they've got what our core values are, and what Richard and Sean have tried to implement across the business as well, and they really have done an amazing job of it.
Being part of the Armed Forces Covenant is obviously a huge thing for yourselves at RSS, but how key do you think it is that the rail industry looks to tap into other areas of work to find people with transferable skills?
Yeah, I think there's a sensational amount of skills. And I think when you leave the army, it probably can be quite overwhelming, like everything is when you leave a role that you're so used to doing. Say if you worked always in banking and you leave to go to railway, it's going to be quite a shock to the system. But they have these skills, whether it's timekeeping, timing is very important on our railway. You can't even be 1 minute late, otherwise the whole job can go under, or they start without you, because timing is the key for all of us. They're obviously very determined people as well, and that's the type of people we want. We want people who want to learn and who want to get more knowledge, and that's the type of people that you do get through the military personnel. And I think it's just so important for us to be a part of the Armed Forces Covenant, and we're very, very proud here to be a gold member and a gold level. Richard and Sean are very keen on the Armed Forces Covenant, and we actually support the armed forces anyway. We go out, we support them when they're selling their poppies and things like that. So we're very passionate here about giving back in every type of way. We know how lucky we all have been. We're all very lucky people. So it's all about giving back to your community and giving back to society. We know that's very, very important, the social value of any company and it's your corporate responsibility really to be doing that.
And finally, from me, we've seen a lot of investment recently in rail in the North and Midlands, and how excited are you about that and the future planned projects in these regions?
Yeah, so happy to see that, to be honest, and all of the funding going up towards the Midlands and the North. It's so important because of what past policies there have been. I think the North and the Midlands probably have felt quite neglected and feels like all the money's going to London, when that's not the case. They're investing heavily in whether it's the new tram systems. We work very closely with the Midland Metro, so we did help support that. So it's about them investing more in the North and the Midlands to provide a better service here. And we're here, we're in the middle of Birmingham, we're ready to support, really. I've used both train services and I can see a difference. I am from the South, so I can see the slight, quite big difference. And, it is proud for us. I go out on site with the guys and I am quite proud of the work that we're doing and that we're delivering. Honestly, I think it's great but they all say to me, I'm just doing my job. and that's how incredible these people are in my mind. And being an SME, we all know each other. Whether there's 100 odd of us, we all still know each other. And that's what I like about working in RSS and in SME. You have that family value and family aspect, which I think is great. And I think the tier ones, in Network Rail really see that coming through, that we are trying to help the industry as well as the workforce in it, and we want to grow. And Network Rail has been so accessible as well. The people that work at Network Rail are very accessible, and they're willing to give you the time of day, which I couldn't fault them. They always give me the time of day to have talks and discussions with them, and I really do appreciate that as well. And as an SME, you would think that they wouldn't listen. They'd only listen to the big tier ones. They're not like that at all. They really do listen, take into consideration what we're going through as well, because in general, things aren't ever easy or simple. Nothing good in life, I always say, is. But they're there to take the time to listen, to understand what we're going through and what's happening in our side of the world, not just obviously the tier one side. They take both aspects, which I think is incredible.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, Monica, and thanks for your time. Thanks for listening to this episode of Rail Technology Magazine's Track Talk podcast. Join the conversation on social media or get in touch via the link on our website, and stay up to date with all the latest developments within the rail industry. Subscribe and give us a rating on your preferred streaming platform. This has been Rail Technology Magazine's Track Talk podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.